Yo guys, what up? 2024 Lowrider ST heading into the shop today, and just wanted to talk about a couple things. And it's mainly regarding my bar and riser setup. And I just wanted to pick your guys' brain on stuff too. See how many miles we got on the Lowrider ST right now. 5,318 so far. All right. So, like I said, I'm heading into the shop. For those of you that don't know, I'm a tattoo artist by trade. I own Black Moon Tattoo here in Madison, Wisconsin. And that brings me to my next point. As tattooers, we tend to struggle with a lot of back pain, neck pain, stuff like that. A lot of static tension. And it really takes a toll on our bodies. We're constantly crumpled up in compromising positions. I've been tattooing about 15 years, so the havoc it's wreaked on my body is pretty intense some days. And, you know, it comes and goes depending on how much you're exercising, depending on how much you're stretching, that type of stuff. But that also made me really think about my current setup, my bar and risers. Right now I'm doing the 9.5 Thrashin pullbacks with the mid-bend bar. Now it's actually a really good setup and it is very comfortable. But I do find myself reaching for the bar. That can be problematic over long road trips. And I think between tattooing and all this chaos I put on my body, then plus riding motorcycles, it hasn't been very kind to my body, to say the least, you know? So I started thinking about a lot of different options. Now, like I said, 9.5 Thrashin pullbacks with the mid-bend bar. Good setup, very comfortable, but that reach does bother me a little bit. Now, Thrashin Supply sells the Triple Tree set, and it actually has two mounting options. And that allows you to take those risers and actually be able to move that riser. I think it's about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches closer to you. Which I think for someone like me, especially someone who does, you know, struggle with a lot of that pain crap in my neck and back, that could be massive for me. So I wanted to know, like, what are you guys, is there anybody else kind of in the same boat that deals with upper neck problems, upper back problems? Has that Triple Tree set helped you out to bring that riser location further, closer to you? I guess the next thing I thought about was, well, maybe, you know, on my last bike I had a Kraus setup. I had the pullback risers from Kraus with the Moto bar, and I believe that puts you at about 12 inches roughly total. Now, I was watching the Thrashin Supply riser bar setup video they had posted, and they were doing measurements, and I guess the 9.5 here that I have plus the mid-bend bar actually puts you at about 13.5 inches. Now, a lot of this stuff, at least that's what Lance Corey said when they were measuring it out. So that's about 1.5 inches lower. Now, I'm not sure. I'm 5'11", and I am below my shoulders right now. But it does make me think, do I need to have it a little bit lower, go back to the Kraus setup at around 12 inches, and then also use maybe Kraus's pullback plate that they have? Maybe that's an option. So there's a couple different options here. Should I just keep the exact setup I have at my height, roughly 5'11", and get the Triple Tree set and move me 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches further, whatever it is, to relieve some of that strain, that reach, and just that little bit more relaxed riding position so my arms aren't as stretched out? So a lot of options here, and I'm just trying to do whatever I can to kind of, whatever can relieve as much pressure and pain from riding is what I need to do, because no matter how much crap I'm dealing with, I have to ride my motorcycle. As you guys know, this is, for a lot of us, this is our therapy. This is our our outlet to get out and ride. You know, I have tattooing, which is amazing, and that's a massive outlet for me. But at the end of the day, you know, I've been doing it 15 years. Some days it does feel like a job, even though I absolutely love it. Riding motorcycles, it's such a release and so good for your mental health. So it's kind of one of those things, you know, you might be in pain riding motorcycles, but because of the mental health benefits, it's so huge. Anyway, what setup are you guys going with right now? Have any of you guys dealt with pinched nerve or bulging disc or anything like that? You know, like I said, I think the combination of tattooing all the time and riding all the time has really started to, you know, take its toll. And, you know, with obviously the right exercise, with the right workout regimen, with all that type of stuff, a lot of this stuff can be mitigated. But with having 2 kids at home and a fiance, you know, you don't get as much time as you want to get out to the gym and do those things. Now, for some people watching, they say, oh, it's an excuse, you'll always make time for it, it's always a priority. And I suppose you're right, you know. But running a business, being consistently booked out tattooing anywhere from 3 weeks to 3 months for the last literally decade plus, 2 kids at the house, trying to ride motorcycles. I just skipped Sturgis this year because of this freaking nerve stuff I'm dealing with. So I'm just trying to find the most comfortable riding setup, and I just want to see where you guys are at with that and pick some people's brains. Like I said, Thrashin makes amazing stuff. I absolutely love their products. Incredible stuff. Some of the best out there. Such high quality stuff. But at the same time, I still need to find what's right for me. But I think bringing it a little bit closer just to relieve a little bit of that tension on my upper back and that reach for my shoulder, I think that's going to make some massive changes to my riding comfort. And, you know, it doesn't sound like a lot. People are like, big deal, inch and a half here and there. You know, whatever. But when you're riding a lot and you're riding for long distance, and, you know, you want to, on a Sunday, you put in 350 miles, like, you know, sometimes we'll do with the buddies, you know, that actually makes a really big difference for comfortability long term. So there's a state capitol, there's downtown Madison, we got Lake Monona right here, and then we got Lake Mendota. Cool thing about Madison is we are located on an isthmus, so our entire city is literally, our whole downtown, our whole city is located in between 2 lakes. You know, Wisconsin has a ton of lakes, same with Minnesota, same with Michigan, but it's really pretty that our whole downtown is located on an isthmus. I think there's only one other place in the, maybe it's, I don't know if it's the country, yeah, I think there's only one other place in the whole country that has a city located on an isthmus. So it's special. So when people come here, they're like, oh man, this is really cool, like, you guys are right on the water, you know. It reminds a lot of people of, you know, being out east. We have a lot of people who come here from the East Coast or the West Coast, they go to college here or whatever it is, but a lot of people from the East Coast, they say it reminds them a lot of home, which is kind of cool. So anyway, let me know your guys' thoughts on that stuff. Hopefully I made that stuff clear. Sometimes it's hard to explain all that stuff in perfectly while you're riding and you're navigating traffic and all that stuff. But hopefully that's clear. Let me know what you guys are riding for your setup. All right, guys, have a awesome day, awesome weekend. I appreciate you guys watching. Please like and subscribe. I got my last 2 videos. I had the Harley Homecoming, which was my most successful video yet. Had almost 10,000 plays now. And then I just posted I was in Milwaukee with my son, and I posted the Harley Davidson Museum tour video. So that was a more in-depth look at the Harley Davidson Museum. So check that out, and let me know your guys' thoughts. Thanks a lot. Peace.